I'm excited. Definitely hunt number one. It's been fantastic down here in Maui. Beautiful, man. Look at this behind me. Hunting in paradise. I could not be more grateful for this buck. I cannot wait to put him on the grill. Cannot wait to take him home. Got a whole posse. Got the whole fam. Honey.
Let's go.
That's my camera guy. Be in Hawaii shortly. I don't know him. This is a story that I have very much been looking forward to putting together. It is from a trip to Hawaii that my family and I had been planning for years, and I was not going to go to Hawaii without hunting axis deer. Waiting at baggage claim to get our bags, in particular my bow. And then we're gonna have to do the whole vacation thing with the family for like a few days. Then we're gonna go bow hunting. So for the first 4 or 5 days, we actually spent on Oahu, and we did the normal touristy stuff. My wife insisted that we actually had a family vacation, and we had a phenomenal time. We hung out and spent time together and did all the fun stuff that the island has to offer. What do you think, eh?
It's cool.
All right, say hi. But we were actually going to island hop over to Maui, where my deer hunt would actually start. Once we get to Maui, I was going to meet up with Pat Fisher from Hawaii Safaris. We are waiting at the airport, getting on our flight from Oahu to Maui. I'm making communication with Pat. We're good to go. A lot of bucks floating around. Just got to get in front of one. Gonna be a little bit hard with the bow, big groups of 20 to 150 in a single group. So probably gonna be setting a lot of blinds and waiting for one to walk by us, basically on trails and in front of water. Right now, Addie, Brookie, Mom, Pam, Kevin. About to get on the plane and head to Maui. It's 3:45 in the morning. Addie and I are walking through the hotel lobby in full hunting garb. We've got about an hour drive to get to where we're gonna meet Pat. Hopefully we drag we'll drag a deer right here. Hopefully by the end of the week. Addison, my oldest daughter, was gonna be filming me on this hunt. She's filmed me around the house, especially for turkeys, but this was going to be her first big game hunt to film. So the first thing we had to do was meet Pat in the pre-dawn hours. We drove out, we shot the bow in front of the headlights, just trying to make sure nothing had happened during the flights. And then we started heading out. We immediately spotted axis deer, and they were actually everywhere. Right off the bat, Pat and I, we tried to cut off this one group that was heading our way. We left Addison back on top of the hill where she kind of had a bird's eye view of everything. And we kind of got caught out in the middle of the open as these axis deer were working their way back to bed out in the middle of this open field. Luckily for them, there was not a mature buck in the group. They all passed at about 60 yards, including a few young bucks, with 1 or 2 of them being kind of borderline as to what I was expecting to shoot. So I could have shot if there had been a shooter in the bunch, but fortunately for them, they were in the clear. Pat and I, we just laid out there in the field as the deer filtered by. Well, we had a close call with a pretty big group, honestly, and then one kind of borderline buck. Would you say he's borderline?
Yeah, that one that stopped.
It stopped about 65 yards-ish.
Yep.
But a big group in front of me, so a close call, but then they spooked because we were kind of stuck out in the open. Got back on two other even bigger groups with just, that's where all the shooters are.
Yeah.
And that's where we're heading now. We got to make a big giant loop hopefully before they bed down. We thought it'd be a little more efficient to get in the truck and make a big loop instead of trying to run out in the open in front of them. So that's what we're doing right now. This is how cool stuff happens. As we were driving in the truck, we actually came over this little hill and we spotted this group with several shooters at about 140 yards. For some reason, they never noticed the truck, so I jumped in the back seat, grabbed my bow, the decoy, and tried to basically cut off the distance and see if I can get within archery range. Obviously, there was a truck behind me, but you never know unless you try. I got to about 100 yards before they finally had enough and took off. Very fun. We've had two close calls. I mean, one at 65 yards was kind of a borderline buck, and then we had a big bachelor group at 100 to 120 yards. I had the decoy in front of my bow there and just couldn't close the distance. So I'm excited, definitely. Hunt number one's been fantastic down here in Maui. Beautiful mountain. Look at this behind me. Beautiful mountain, clouds. I can see the ocean on both sides of me. That's the ocean, that's the ocean. Hunting in paradise. Love it. Okay, here's what we got. That's where my butt's gonna go. That's what I'm gonna be looking at. Hopefully, see the deer coming from there. They're gonna come from right here, park down. I'm gonna be back behind the deal. They're gonna get right in here. I'm gonna draw back. I feel good about it. If we come back here in the morning, I like our chances.
My name's Patrick Fisher and I run Hawaii Safaris. So I was born and raised here on Maui, grew up hunting behind my dad pretty much since I could walk, and just always fell in love with the outdoors and went away to college at Colorado State, got my degree in wildlife biology and came home in 1991. It was interesting in college, I would bring a bunch of my friends out and they would come hunt with me, and they're always amazed at how great the hunting was. So I knew that's what I wanted to do about my sophomore year in college. And came in and fortunately had some good connections growing up here. And my dad's side of the family actually came in the 1830s and been here since. We currently guide on Maui, the Big Island, and Molokai for all of Hawaii's big game species here, which are axis deer, Spanish goat, and boar on Maui and Molokai, and then black Hawaiian sheep, mouflon cross, boar, and game birds on the Big Island of Hawaii. It's a pretty diverse habitat and diverse species, so it always makes it interesting and fun to mix it up and go after all our game. Of course, one of the really nice things about hunting Hawaii is it's such a destination for people to bring their families, and our game species, we have so many diverse game, and the quantity and quality of game is excellent. We don't have predators or harsh winters to deal with, so a lot of people just love to come out and spend time here, entertain their family, and sneak away for a couple days of hunting.
Both. All. Not a guy-girl thing. Maui is a hero too. All. You're doing great. Where's fans?
It's research.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
What can I say except you're welcome
For the
tides of thunder's eye.
Hey,
It's okay, you're welcome. So on our first evening, we actually went to a different part of the island. This spot was a little higher up in elevation, and so it had a lot more vegetation. And just like down in the bottom, there was animals everywhere. We got on this real big group with a really nice big buck in it. We were following them on foot in this chest-high brush, and we were basically just walking behind them, jumping from rock to rock as they were going down this hill and going down into the bottoms to feed for the night. We were just trying to keep pace and not be seen or heard while we were doing it. At one point, I was actually able to get to 60 yards of the biggest buck in the group. I'll shoot that one on the right. That's the big one. We had him in the open. I came to full draw, settling the pin. My finger was on the trigger. I was putting pressure on the trigger, and he took a step into the brush, and I was unable to get a clean shot, and he gave me the slip. So we continued to follow these things down the hill, me and Addie. I was basically dragging her down the mountainside in this really loose volcanic rock. And ultimately, we were not able to get a shot that evening on a mature buck, but we did have an incredible time with an absolutely breathtaking ocean sunset. It was a really great day that I was able to spend with my daughter. Well, it is 9:30. You're just not getting back. Here's Addie. Just getting back to the resort. It was a long day, but we had a lot of encounters when we got here. We did. It was super close, like a lot of times. Long day, but ready to do it again in the morning. So this next morning was actually our last morning with Pat. And this was actually supposed to be a 2-day hunt. So if we wanted to leave Hawaii with a deer, we was going to have to get it done today. We started the morning off in the blind that we had built that previous day. We didn't really see anything close or anything that was really heading our way. But we did see some in the distance, and so we took off trying to get ahead of them. We were kind of paralleling them for a little bit, and then we got to this one big pile of rock and brush, and we really couldn't go any further. It was too open, and the herd actually passed right in front of us out in the wide open at about 150 yards. Wasn't this close to the gully.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
But, I mean, the higher up you can get, because they're going to keep angling. I think they're going to angle, close to that far hill.
Yeah.
You could try it. It's not going to hurt anything.
Let me see if I can do it. Once they kind of got around where we were perched up on this rock pile, I left Addie and Pat there, and I actually ventured off by myself to try to get within range of the group. And unfortunately, I was coming up behind the group. I was about 50 or 60 yards from all of them. I was going to get to this one little patch of cover and hopefully get a shot from there. And just as I was getting to where I wanted to get, unknown to me, the biggest buck in the entire group had lagged behind, and him and I met eyes at 15 yards. And of course, whenever he seen me, he spooked and he took the whole herd with him. Well, just had an extremely close call with the extremely good buck. Had the biggest buck in the group at 15 yards. The herd was out there about 50 or 60 yards. And I was coming up on this knob that I'm sitting on right now and using it as cover. I mean, I covered 300 yards, 250 yards to get to here. It's 15 yards. Dang it. It's perfect, absolutely perfect, except for that big one was straggling behind about 50 yards. And I was moving up to one rock. I was about 4 yards away from being to where I wanted to be, and that buck poked his head up, and gig was up. So, sitting on the knob now. This is our last morning with Pat. So, there's a big herd down the bottom below me. Several really good deer. One or two like really good deer. So, we'll see. So after that, Addie and we took off on another group that we'd been watching further down the bottom. We came up over this rim of a canyon where we had seen this big herd go into, but we actually never seen them come out. They're at 35. I can't see them. Eventually, I caught movement, and it was just a matter of time before a mature buck was going to give me a shot. So a smaller buck had actually started walking up the hill directly at me, and at about 5 yards, it barked. And of course, that spooked the entire herd, and then they all started running out the end of the gully. Oh, no. He lunged forward. Last morning here, Hawaii, and made a couple stalks. And made a stalk on a group that we were watching all morning. Got up above them in a little crevice, 35. Well, they were at 35 yards and they spooked. And the buck went out to about, I think it's about 60 is what I guessed him at. And but unfortunately they were spooked. I shot. The buck ducked and took off, and it hit him like barely touched his back. So now we're looking for him, seeing if we can spot that herd and potentially spot that buck. It's very frustrating. Well, we are moving on to bigger and better things. We had a missed opportunity this morning on a great buck with the bow. We've been going after him with the bow for the last couple of days now. A lot of close calls.
Oh yeah.
But we were watching a bunch of deer this morning, a bunch of good deer down there. That was out of archery range, obviously, but not for the old 7 mag.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the last day with Pat. So we're gonna try to get something on the ground. I want to see if I can get an axis deer.
Gotta see if we can get you some antlers and meat to take.
Yeah,
on.
that's right. I have been telling my wife about how good the axis meat is. So let's go. We know an area where there's a good buck, or at least a couple good bucks. Basically, we got to get up here and get on top of this ridge. Hopefully, we pop over there and hopefully we see him.
Yeah. Yep, because they're gonna start bedding down pretty hard now.
Yeah,
so.
maybe we'll get lucky and he'll be standing up and repositioning or something. I don't know. So we'll see y'all here in a second. Hopefully, with a big buck down range. As soon as we came up over that hill, we spotted a big buck on his feet. We were not going to waste any time trying to get any closer. At 350 yards, we got everything set up, and I settled in for a shot.
Addie, you on him?
Yeah, I see him.
All right. You ready?
Yep. Got him. You hit him. Okay, now how'd the shot feel?
Great. Yeah. Deer down there.
Oh yeah. All those herds are running now. You hit him with it.
Yeah, I definitely hit him solid.
Yeah. I think you made a good shot. Whew. You earned them. Going archery for a while, man, that's tough.
I would say that I regret picking up the bow or the gun, and putting the bow down, but I really don't, dude. This is freaking amazing. Look we're in paradise right now.
Yeah,
there's an ocean on this side of me. There's an ocean on that side of me. This is your freaking home too.
Yeah, it's a neat country. I enjoy doing it.
You guys got a lot here.
There's a lot.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, a lot.
It seems like we've seen them all today. Golly. That's a good buck.
Oh yeah, no, he's nice. Yep.
Yeah, that's a solid deer.
Yep, you definitely earned them after passing up all those archery.
We
and
passed
trying
up.
to get those.
Passed a few opportunities with the bow, and then had one missed opportunity. That's on me. But I don't think we missed this one.
No, I think you made a good shot. Right on.
Yeah, we'll give it a few and then head that way.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
My man.
Axis buck. Good job, man.
Thank you, man.
That was cool.
There.
A bunch of other bucks.
There was a lot of deer in that group. Yeah, heck yeah. Thanks, sir.
Oh, congratulations.
Dude, we definitely gave it a whirl with the bow.
Oh yeah.
I should maybe feel a little disappointed that I didn't get done with the bow, but you know what? I'm not.
Oh, they're challenging.
Yeah, and you know, we had multiple close opportunities over the last 2 days. A lot within 100 yards, and then more than I can probably count, and then half a dozen or more within 60, including a very, very close missed opportunity this morning with the bow. But you know what? I'm okay with grabbing the long gun.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Especially
when you only got a couple days to hunt.
Yeah.
Enjoy time with your family
Right.
here.
I got the whole family here, and they're waiting back. I took the rental car, you know, so they're definitely letting me know that they gotta get Ubers to go to the shopping malls and stuff. So it's paradise out here. And this is where you're from, huh?
Yeah.
Right over our shoulder somewhere?
Yeah, straight up the mountains. So
Yeah.
that's nice. It's always fun to get people out and experience the hunting we have here.
Yeah, it's absolutely remarkably beautiful. You got the ocean right there, the ocean over there. I'll tell you what though, it's a lot more arid down here where we're hunting than I was anticipating.
Well, we're in a major drought.
Yeah.
This is normally about 20 inches of rain.
Mm-hmm.
We've had about an inch this whole year.
Yeah.
It's really, really dry.
Well, I'm definitely tickled pink with this. It's
Yeah,
a great buck. I mean, you know, getting to go home with a freezer full of meat.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not complaining whatsoever that I did it with a gun, did it with a bow, did it with a grenade launcher. I'm going home with the ice chest full of meat.
Yeah, well, nicely done.
Yes, sir. Thank you.